Alright, let's see what PoE 2 has in store for us later this year.
Sir, just what are we facing here?
A relic of the old world. Ready your men, Captain. We will only get one chance.
What the fuck? Lag?
Hear the whispers. What do you think he was on about?
It's Dorman, right?
Yeah.
Then Dorman, shut your damn mouth. Ugh, why do I always get stuck with these rookies?
Hey, the kid's got a mean cleave. Give him a chance.
Quiet.
Sullen!
Alright, that's pretty cool.
A mean cleave, eh, Captain? Rookie can't even lift his own sword. Captain Oren? Captain? It's here. Rain! Send the signal!
What the fuck?
Rain!
I literally said it.
On my back, Rookie. Blade up!
Come on! I'm ready. I'm ready. It's a man.
No, it's not.
It's a man.
Run.
And who the fuck is it then? Clearly a man, right? Oh.
Captain! Captain!
He got hit.
Stop! Humanity isn't ready.
On your feet, lad.
And who's this?
The captain,
You'll be fine. Here.
What is it?
Get the body.
Stop. Mortal. It can still be contained. You don't know what you have unleashed.
Your kind no longer control this world. We cannot destroy your body, it's true. But you will watch as we destroy everything you have built. Bind him!
Why would he do that though?
Feed. Grow, my child. I'll make sure you can eat your fill.
Monka. Grow my child. What reveal? I had no idea what's going on, but it's pretty cool. Pretty nice intro.
Hi, I'm Jonathan Rogers,
Hi.
Game Director on Path of Exile 2. Now, Path of Exile 2 is going into early access in around 2 weeks on December the 6th. But even though it's early access, this isn't just some small taste. The game is huge. In this livestream, we're going to be introducing everything you can expect. So without further ado, let's roll the gameplay trailer.
Alright, that's the actual trailer now, let's go.
Existence is a thing of beauty, precious, but impermanent. Life and death are mortal enemies, and yet bound to one another. The continuation of life must be protected at all costs. Some have said my methods are brutal. To this, I say, there can be no salvation without sacrifice.
Dude, like, it looks so fucking good though. The gameplay. It does look pretty fucking good. Yeah, 3 might be even bigger. Or like, similarly big. Oh, you can time freeze enemies? What is this, League of Legends? Holy fuck.
And I will do what I must.
Wait, what is this? Oh, it's the map. It's just the map, right? That looks pretty good, like the map. Dude, the bosses are gonna be lit as well. Is there gonna be an endgame Atlas already?
Let them soon be acquainted with it.
Now, as you just saw, even in early access, Path of Exile 2 is a big game. It's actually been 5 years since we announced PoE 2, and over
It's
that
one of the
time, we've
games of all
revealed a
time
lot,
for sure.
But it's been in bits and pieces. It's pretty hard to keep track of it
Yeah,
all.
it's PoE 2,
So today we're gonna
it's
do a
coming
full
out to
rundown
beta
of all
next
the
month.
content that will be available at the start of early access. Classes, character progression systems, and for the first time, a full overview of the endgame. This is going to be a big one, so get comfortable. For 20 years, Rayclast has been free from any sources of corruption, but the Count of Ogham, tempted by promises of power, intends to harness it once more. The dead are rising, monsters are mutating, and madness is spreading. Under the dark influence of corruption, the Count doles out sentences of death to any who would question him. And this is where you find yourself at the start of PoE 2.
Back to the beach.
Explore the dark forests of Ogham. Traverse the barren plains of the
What the fuck? What the fuck? PoE?
Desert. And delve into the jungle ruins of Utsal, an ancient Val city. There are challenging
What the fuck?
monsters, hidden runes,
Server's already dying.
lost camps and treasures,
Beta didn't
roaming
even start
merchants,
yet.
and of course, unique bosses. No two areas are the same. It falls to you.
Yeah, no, it's like it's their stream, it's not my connection. Hello?
But first, you'll need to pick a class.
Okay, let's just pick a class.
Now, early access will initially have 6 classes available. Let's have a look at them. The monk is a fast and furious melee fighter. He dashes in and out of combat and has mechanics that involve building up and keeping momentum. Like all classes in PoE 2,
I mean, Twitch also has like shit bandwidth
to mix and
sometimes.
match different combos.
Maybe it's like New Zealand to Twitch to whatever connection, I don't know. It could be several things. It could be more than one thing, that's for sure.
To get new skills, you will first need to find skill gems. Using a skill gem will open the gem cutting menu, which shows all the active skills available in PoE 2. You can choose an existing...
Oof. People subscribe with Prime to get rid of technical difficulties. What? Anyway, I love how they're like, yeah, let's do a slow introduction, right? Like when you click on an uncut skill gem, it opens up a window showing every single skill in the entire game. I like it, and I also think it's gonna overwhelm the same people that were overwhelmed by PoE 1 as well, I guess. But I mean, I don't know. Should they cater to those people? Maybe not. Oh yeah, it's true. You can like select beginner, I guess, and then it doesn't do that. Wait, are they actually like spamming Prime? Is this like bots or what? Like, what the fuck is happening? Like, this seems like no way these are all real primes. The Twitch is weird sometimes. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if this is like actually some botting stuff going on here. 133k views. I mean, it's 100. It was like 170k like 2 seconds ago, not 157. But this is really weird. I mean, okay, it's like a lot of people, so these could all be real people technically. But like, why would you? This is not an ad, right? Like, you're not getting rid of this when you like sub with Prime.
Sir, just what are we facing here?
Precious.
Have to like scroll in their own video.
There are 21 active skills for quarterstaves, so this just scratches the surface of the options that you have. By endgame, you'll be dashing from pack to pack, spewing where you find yourself at the start of
They're scrolling back.
Explore the dark forests of Ogham.
I mean, they're doing their best.
Plains of the Vesteri Desert, and delve into the jungle ruins of Utsal, an ancient Vaal city. There are challenging monsters, hidden rooms,
That's just good.
lost camps and treasures, roaming merchants,
Intense Kronos life, exactly.
No two areas are the same. It falls to you to track down the seed of corruption, the source of all this devastation. On the way, you'll face fearsome monsters, meet strange characters, forge unlikely bonds, and uncover lost civilizations. But first, you'll need to pick a class. Now, Early Access will initially have 6 classes available. Let's have a look at them.
6 out of
The monk
12.
is a fast and furious melee fighter. He dashes in and out of combat and has mechanics that involve building up and keeping momentum. Like all classes in PoE 2, you'll want to use a wide variety of skills to mix and match different combos. To get new skills, you will first need to find skill gems. Using a skill gem will open the gem cutting menu, which shows all the active skills available in PoE 2. You can choose an existing skill to level up, or choose to engrave a new one. Since this is a level 7 skill gem, even if you pick a new skill, it will immediately be level 7.
Does picking a class
so there's no harm in trying out something new.
have more impact
The
than in
monk
PoE 1?
primarily uses the quarterstaff. There
Or
are
do we
3
like
skills of
determine where you
martial
start from the
arts:
passive tree?
lightning, ice, and wind. But don't think you have to stick to just one. The best combos are going to involve mixing elements of
Oh yeah,
all
no, it's
3.
totally fine. I mean, these things happen. I
Let's
don't
try
mind. It's
killing
just
Palm.
funny.
Like many monk skills, this can be used to quickly
Like, I'm
take
not
advantage of a
pissed in
specific
any way or
situation.
like want to make fun of
If
them
there's an
anyway.
enemy
It's
on
just
low
funny.
life, You can use Killing Palm to dash to them and kill them instantly. This will provide a power charge. Then we can use a different skill to consume that power charge for a much more devastating attack. The Monk also has powerful combo skills. Tempest Bell, for example, is a skill that places a giant resonating bell. Hitting the bell causes it to ring, dealing damage to all enemies
You can
around
be
it.
a bell
You can
marauder.
also do things like freeze or
You can
shock
shoot
the
it with
bell,
your
which will add
crossbow.
elemental damage to the strikes.
I wonder what that does.
The Monk also has a variety of abilities to empower his staff. If an enemy is close to being stunned, you can use Staggering Palm to punch them down. After that, any attack you do will shoot out wind projectiles.
Still can't rotate the camera? Nah.
There are
not
21
gonna
active skills for quarter staves.
waste their
so this
development
just
time
scratches
with
the
a
surface of the
premium
options that you have. By
feature like
endgame, you'll be
that.
dashing from pack to pack, spewing projectiles and obliterating screens of enemies with huge combo
The ice
attacks.
effects look pretty cool though, not gonna lie. Like, holy.
Now, if you like a style of melee that's a little
Very
slower,
nice.
but
Let's
hits
go.
much harder,
Melee
then
Smork.
Warrior is for you. He pounds the ground with big, chunky attacks and can shrug off the hits of small enemies with large amounts of armor. Even though the mace slams are slow, you never lose control. Longer
this
attacks
attack-
can be retargeted as you go.
Like,
And
I don't
if you
know.
find yourself committed to a long attack, you can dodge roll out of it at any time.
Like, I
Among the
like
skill
playing
options for
melee,
maces,
but I
you'll
think the
find a
skill,
variety of
like,
slams,
unironically looks
fire
cringe.
attacks, war cries, and shield skills.
I think it
Here,
fits
I'm gonna
like
slam
a
the
monk
ground,
to
rending
jump
it
around
apart
like
with
that,
lines
but
of
like, why
fire.
the fuck does a warrior
Any
jump
slam
around?
skill will then
I mean,
cause these fissures to erupt with lava. I can even run
these
through them with a
skills look a
skill
lot
like
better though,
Stampede to do huge
in my
amounts of
opinion.
damage.
This looks way better.
The warrior can also use war cries, which can empower your next skill. Seismic Cry, for example, will double any
Like the
slams
one,
from your
like-
next attack. The Stampede counts as a slam, so it
Lip
can double
slam
that for
looks
even more
weird.
craziness.
Like this one, I don't know.
If you want to go a little faster and be a little more defensive, equip a shield. In PoE 2, you can raise your shield at any time to block all damage from the front, even spells. While holding up your shield, your stun meter will build as you take damage, so be careful. If it reaches 100%,
Can you
your stance
attack
will break
while
and will
you
be
have the shield
vulnerable.
up, or do you just die?
Some enemies also have unblockable attacks, which are indicated by this red flash. If you see one of these coming, make sure to dodge out of the way. Using a shield also gives you access to shield skills, like Shield Charge, which allows you to charge towards enemies and stun
I feel
them.
like using the shield actively,
While charging,
the
you're
block
also
is gonna
blocking the whole
have
time,
very
so you have full
limited,
damage
like
immunity from the
actual
front.
purposes.
The warrior also has access
Probably.
to totems. Some totems have built-in abilities, like
Maybe
Shockwave
not, we'll
Totem,
see.
which can be placed to stun nearby enemies and trigger aftershocks.
It might be
those
like
from the
really
earthquake.
OP against some bosses
But you can
though.
also get Ancestral Warrior Totems, which allow you to use
Totem.
any slam skill in your repertoire. This is a meta skill.
They get
which
like
means
rid
that
of
it's a skill
totems
you
from
can put
melee
other
and
skills into.
QE1, right?
I can
And
take a slam like Sunder and socket it into my
right
Ancestral
back
Warrior
to
totem.
totems.
Now when I summon him, he'll sit there and slam the monsters from a distance.
I mean, if you want to play like a totem build,
There
it's
are
still
20
fun, right?
active skills for maces, so there's a lot
not
more
like
to try
mandatory.
out. But by endgame, you're going to
It
be
was
dropping
mandatory
hammers from
before
the
in
sky,
QE1.
moving fearlessly into combat and separating the very earth you stand on.
That's
Time
cool.
for some ranged attacks. The ranger is primarily about the bow, but we wanted to make sure that she feels agile as well. In PoE 2, you can shoot while moving. Combined with all the skills the ranger has that allow you to jump around, you will have a lot of mobility in combat.
Shoot while moving.
Bow skills have a variety of lightning,
Shoot while moving is gonna
poison,
feel best
ice,
on
and physical
WASD
attacks.
and mouse actually, probably
Lightning
better than
attacks
controller
bounce around
even.
between targets. You can also
Ah,
stick
controller is
lightning
also
arrows
pretty
to the
good for
ground
that.
to explode when hit by the bouncers, or electrocute enemies to take them out of combat.
That's pretty
Ice
funny.
attacks allow you to slow and freeze enemies to keep them away from you.
Pretty cool.
Using poison, not only can you slowly damage your enemies from afar, but also grow some interesting plants.
Oh, roots. Like
With
slowing
21
enemies
bow
with
skills
roots.
And all the mobility and combo tools the ranger has, you can take advantage of every situation. By endgame, you'll be creating hundreds of arrows, be they falling from the sky, bouncing around between enemies, or spraying out of tornadoes.
I like the unique.
You might have noticed
You
in the
see
bottom left of the
effects,
screen that the flask
attached
slots
elements.
look a little different. In PoE 2, you have one dedicated life flask slot and one
Hey,
mana
just like in
flask
Grim
slot.
Dawn.
Flasks gain charges as you kill enemies.
Just like
and
in Grim
typically
Dawn.
allow you to
I mean,
heal
not the
6 or
second
7
part.
times if they're full. But that's not the only thing you can use charges for. Charms are a new item type that will automatically defend you from various debuffs or damage types. Having trouble with getting frozen? Equip a Thawing Charm. When it's fully
Charms.
charged, it will make you immune to freeze for 3 seconds if you get frozen. To recharge them, just kill more monsters.
Just kill
You
more
can gain
monsters.
more slots for charms by upgrading your belt.
Yeah, these are like flasks. So like,
The mercenary wields a
Flask
crossbow that can be
345 is
loaded with
basically like
different
always
ammo types,
automatically
offering
triggered now.
versatility, power, and mobility.
kinda.
All classes in Path of Exile 2 can be controlled with WASD, which makes this class play exactly like a shooter. For the crossbow, you will find skills that work like
this class is gonna be fun as fuck, right?
sniper rifles, assault rifles,
I think.
and even grenade launchers. But not only that, there are a wide variety of more interesting elemental ammos too. It's very fast to switch between ammo types, as long as you already have them loaded, which makes the mercenary able to combo abilities together for devastating effect.
I think this class is gonna be the most fun, maybe even.
Walls of ice to separate enemies.
Oh, I mean,
then
Monk is
switch to
gonna be very
fragmentation rounds
cool
to
too,
explode
though.
the ice, dealing massive AoE damage. If I come across an armored enemy, I could use armor-piercing rounds to break their armor, and then high-velocity rounds to take them down. Or perhaps I could fire a gas grenade to poison enemies before
Which class
detonating
is
the cloud
spear?
with an explosive shot for massive damage.
I mean, any class is spear if you equip it, right?
If you want to call in some suppressing fire, you can summon artillery ballistas. These have a minimum range, so you'll want to prepare your position carefully before moving in. There are 22 active skills for crossbows. By endgame, you'll be calling destruction down from the sky as you litter the battlefield with grenades and pepper your enemies with your automatic shotgun. If you're looking to take a backseat and let your minions do the work, then the witch should be your choice. She can call forth hordes of undead monsters to fight for her, while casting powerful chaos spells that debilitate her
So
enemies.
they're like focusing more on
Occult
witch being
skills are
like
some
the
of most
occult
varied in the game, with
caster, and
skeletons,
sorcerer being more like the
noxious
elemental caster, I
spells,
guess.
minions, curses, and sacrificial magic.
What was the elemental caster before? Like,
Before we talk about minions, we'll have to talk
Elementalist?
about a new resource in
The
Path of
Witch
Exile
Ascendency,
2
I
called
guess?
Spirit. This is a spirit gem, which allows you to pick from a range of persistent skills. All classes have a variety of these skills which can add some very interesting effects, like Arctic Armor, which does cold damage to enemies that
Yeah,
hit
and
you,
Templar,
or
too.
Raging Spirits, which summon fiery skulls
Like all
each
the
time you
Templar
cast a
essences.
fire spell. For the Witch, though, we'll want to be using our Spirit to create permanent minions. These minions will be revived automatically when they die, so you don't have to worry about resummoning them all the time.
automatically when they die.
Here, I'm using the skill
I
screen to
mean,
allocate which
it's
minions
what
I would like in my horde.
certain like minion
You can see
cuck
the
players
spirit
want,
cost
right?
of each
So
one.
I
Skeletal
can see
warriors
that.
are cheap but weak, useful for tanking damage and distracting enemies. But I want more heavy hitters.
you
in
want
my
to play
army,
like walk me
so I'm going to
some
unsummon some warriors and instead add
build, right?
skeletal arsonists. Permanent minions come with special active abilities called command skills. You can order these guys to detonate your own minions for even more damage and area of effect. If you want a bigger army, you'll need a scepter. This new weapon type is imbued with even more spirit,
the
allowing you
Marauder
to
look
summon
cool, yeah.
even more friends. And if you want an even bigger army than that, you can take advantage of corpses to summon true hordes of minions. But what can a witch do while her army is at work? Well, she has a range of chaos spells to spread disease amongst your enemies, or bone skills to impale them. Or, you know, you could curse them to make them weaker so your horde can take them down. There are
classic.
25 active occult skills. By the endgame, you'll be the leader of a fearsome army of the dead, consuming
I mean, you can
everything in
always
its
like
path.
also not play minions and just play like crit caster, right? I mean,
The
as
sorceress bends the
Illuminator
elements to
said,
her
this is
will,
more like
using
an
them to unleash
overview for
devastation
new
on her
players
foes.
to like, you know,
This
give people
classic
direction.
spellcaster weaves a
But
flurry
you can
of
do whatever you
elemental
want
magic from
ultimately because
afar.
it's still PoE.
The elemental skills have everything you might expect and more. Fireballs, icy explosions, lightning
Like none of these
storms,
skills
you
are
get the
actually
idea.
bound
Each
to the
spell is unique
classes.
and
It's
has
more
many
like
different ways to build and combo with others.
these are
even between
the,
different elements. For
like
example,
remade
Flame Wall conjures a burning line that not only damages enemies, but
class
also empowers
identity
all projectiles
ideas that are
pass through it.
behind the classes.
If you place a wall and fire lightning sparks through it, they'll gain extra fire damage.
That's pretty cool.
It's a good
Combos,
idea to
nice.
take advantage of the ability to automatically swap weapons when you use certain skills. Having a special staff with bonuses to fire skills and another with bonuses to lightning skills can really power up a combo like this.
That's pretty
The
nice.
sorceress can also take advantage of powerful trigger gems. For example, you could grab the Cast and Ignite gem and use it with Firestorm. As you ignite enemies, a counter will go up in the top left corner. When it's full, a Firestorm will automatically be cast at the enemy that was ignited.
But
There are
G,
25 active
yo,
elemental
Giel, welcome,
skills.
welcome.
By endgame, you'll be firing off projectiles left and right as you rain down elemental storms on your foes. Now, those are the characters that will be available at the start of Early Access, but we will be adding 6 more character classes with just as many skills and options as these. There's a lot more to come. There's one more important thing to mention about skills. Even though we talk about them as belong to each class, in reality there are no restrictions. You can use all these skills on any class so long
There
as
we
you
go.
have the attributes. For
Yeah,
example,
just attribute
a
locked.
poison ranger might want to try out using occult curses to increase her poison damage. Or a monk might want to trigger elemental ice walls to use with his glacial cascade combo. The possibilities
Dude,
for
like,
cross-class
Ice Monk
combos
looks
are
pretty fucking
practically
cool.
unlimited. We're
Not
looking
gonna
forward to
lie.
what kind of things you guys might find. Now, Path of Exile is a game known for build customization.
Oh, there we go.
and
He's
haven't
shooting
even
the action
scratched
bad with the
surface of
crossbow,
what is
just like I said
possible
earlier.
yet. So let's
Very
talk about
nice.
support gems.
That's like so cool, man.
Path of Exile 2 has a system of support gems.
Yeah,
that can
they
be
have
combined with your
spears,
active
but
skills to
where are
dramatically
they,
change
right?
the way they work. If you find
They do
a
have
support
spears,
gem,
though,
then
right?
right-clicking it will open up this screen. Here you will find a variety of recommended support gems for each of your skills that you can pick between.
You can actually do that. Like you can
This
shoot
is
the
a
flip
multiple
and
projectile support gem and can
shoot
be
the
used to
bell.
add multiple projectiles to any skill.
That's funny. I don't know
Normally,
why.
when you fire a grenade,
That's
it'll
like
look
making
like
me so
this.
happy, but it's kind of funny.
But if we add multiple projectiles, then you get 3 of them. Once you have the gem, you can also freely move it between any of the skills on your character.
Bow
If you want to have a
boomsticks.
multi-shot sniper rifle instead, then simply move the gem over to your high-velocity round skill. Generally speaking, if it sounds like a support gem should work with a skill, then it will work. So it's a good idea to experiment. Note that you can only have one of each support gem on your character.
I
so
mean,
you'll want to think
crossbow is
carefully
like
about
a-
which supports can be used best with each skill for maximum
The
damage.
crossbow's gonna play like a gun,
Now,
right?
if
The
you want
bow
to
is
stick
gonna
to the
play like a bow, and the
recommendations, you should have
crossbow is gonna
perfectly
play
good
like a
time.
gun,
But
kinda.
if you want to experiment a bit more, then uncheck that recommended button, and you can see the full list of supports that will work with your skill.
It's gonna have fast
There are hundreds
projectiles
of
and more
support
about
gems to
like
choose
grenades
from,
and stuff like
and even
that,
we don't know
whereas
the results of all
bows
the possible ways these can interact.
more like classic bow
Each skill can have up to
projectiles.
5 supports socketed into it, and if you're clever, you can come up with some pretty interesting ideas. Now, all of this is just scratching the surface.
I mean, yeah, obviously.
You can make frost vortexes, break people's armor, make minions explode, make skills repeat.
You can play a
make
black
enemy
polar
city
cocktail,
cover on
right?
Fire, cull enemies, or pin them to the ground.
A Marauder, like Fire
Supports let you
Marauder,
drastically
Full
change the
Fire
behavior of your
Marauder, maybe
skills
like some
and
caster
create your own
abilities
unique
even.
build, or at least follow someone's OP build guide. So, speaking of builds, let's talk about one of the most iconic Path of Exile systems, the passive skill tree.
Oh
Yes,
no,
it's
the
huge.
overwhelming passive
There are
skill
over
tree.
1,500 nodes on there.
1500
Now, a lot of people
nodes.
open the tree and can get a little intimidated at first, but try not to be scared. There are lots of options, but at its core,
I mean, that's
it's
pretty
pretty
fucking
simple.
cool, not gonna lie.
Each level you get 1 point
You
to
can,
put into
like,
the tree. Each class starts at a different location, but they all share the same tree. Around your section of the tree,
Study
you'll
this
find
game
relevant
instead of
bonuses
like
for your character.
getting an
You should be
actual
safe in
degree
the
at
knowledge that
university.
there aren't
You
many
can like
wrong
study this
choices
tree
here.
instead of like
Almost
actually
all the
getting
starting nodes
promoted
will
at
be useful
work,
for your
right?
character in some way.
Pretty fucking cool.
But if you do happen to make a choice you regret, you'll be able to respec any nodes you've taken by spending a little bit of gold.
And gold respect now makes
The
this
tree is
way more
generally
casual
divided
friendly
up
than
into
ever
clusters
before.
which have
I mean,
similar themes.
that's
In each cluster, you
cool.
will find small nodes that give simple bonuses like increased damage, but the real power comes from notables.
Notables.
Notables normally have much more interesting bonuses, and they tend to care a lot more about how your build works and
Nobody's
what
gonna know
skills
what
you're
a
using.
notable is. Like, just
For
say
example,
like
in the mercenary
big
area
node,
of the
right?
tree, this one gives a 25%
know.
chance for crossbow skills to not consume a bolt.
okay, big node is not
Here's
better.
one that gives grenades a chance to blow up a second time. This one gives a chance for projectiles to rebound off terrain, as well as giving you some pierce chance to make that more likely.
And every game is terminology,
Note
and
that
PoE
even though
has
this
quite
is
a
in
bit
the
as well.
mercenary section, this would work with projectiles
These mobs
from
look pretty
all
cool.
classes. So there are often reasons to go to different areas of the
We
tree.
haven't seen these yet, I think.
In order to get between these clusters, you will generally have to allocate
Plus
nodes
5
in the
main
attribute
stat. Holy
highways.
fuck, dude.
Attribute nodes allow you to pick which attribute you would like to use, so it's very easy to get points for any attribute that your gear might need. You can change which attribute these nodes give you for half price at the respec vendor. In addition
That's
to
very
notables,
flexible
you'll
now,
also
actually.
find even larger passives called keystones.
Dude, it's gonna make like
Keystones have both an upside and a downside.
buying, for example,
and often
Dex
require
gems as
changing
a
your entire
warrior or
build
like
to
as a
design
sorcerer
around them.
way
A
easier
great example
earlier.
is Giant's Blood, which allows you to wield two-hand weapons in a single hand. and
Like,
it doubles
so
the
much
attribute
easier.
requirements of them. You can use a two-hand mace with a shield.
Oh shit,
or even
two-hander
dual
in
wield.
one hand? Dual wield two-handers? Let's go right from the start,
Or
because
how
why
about
the
Mind
fuck
Over
not?
Matter, which makes all damage go to your mana pool first before your life pool, but you lose 50%
That's
of your mana
insane.
regen. Skills like these can be tough to build around.
I didn't see,
but if you're
like,
up for the
what
challenge,
penalty you
it can be
got, but-
very rewarding.
That's cool.
As we showed you earlier on the Sorceress, you can swap between weapon sets on the fly as you use certain skills.
Oh yeah, you have like
One
different
of the new features in Path
skill
of Exile
pages,
2's
right?
passive tree is that you can choose to have your passive tree change as you switch between weapon sets to take advantage of specific bonuses on the
yeah.
tree. For the
They're actually
Sorceress,
making
you might
weapon
want to
swap
change
work,
between
unlike
fire
Grim
and
Dawn.
lightning specialization.
Grim Dawn weapon swap yeah, it doesn't really work
Or you could
because you
switch
need to
between
respect
one-hand and a
emotions.
two-hand setup in order to be able to block boss attacks while following up with heavy hits from your bigger mace. Or perhaps you could have a full curse setup on your witch to debuff enemies before switching to a chaos degen build for maximum damage.
GG. Take notes, great.
If you want to stick with
That's
just
how you
one
do
weapon
weapon
set,
swap.
you can just use these specialization points as bonus points
Just make
to
your
invest
own
however
engine,
you
right?
like. But creative players will find plenty of opportunities with this system. You can get weapon specialization points throughout the campaign from optional bosses and quests. For example,
That's
if
cool.
I manage to defeat the Crowbell, I'll get a weapon
Yep,
specialization.
side quests giving you quests like
There are
skill
lots of
points,
other
just like in
permanent
PoE1
boosts
or like in
available from the
Grim Dawn.
campaign
That's good.
too.
That's cool.
On the map, you can see icons that indicate the many optional encounters you can find. Some of them have permanent character boosts,
That's
and
nice.
others have powerful
Dirty
items.
Spirit. I mean, you
If
can
you're having
skip
trouble
something
getting
like
past the
that, right?
boss,
If you don't need
it might be a
Spirit, you
good
can
idea
like
to
technically
explore
skip
and
that.
see what you can find.
Like depending on like
For
what
example,
character you
if defeat
play, you wanna
Blackjaw
like
the
do
Remnant,
different
You'll gain a permanent increase to fire resistance.
like side. I mean,
One of
eventually
the
I guess you
most
wanna do all of them,
important
but
finds are spirit bonuses. You can find
some
the
are like
first one
less
here in the
important. You
canopy
can do
in
them
Act
later.
1. Defeat the
That's
boss in
nice.
this area to acquire a
Some might
permanent
be just
addition of
rippy as
spirit.
fuck as well, and you wanna do them later
Permanent
because of that
buffs
as
you gain
well.
from spirit are very powerful, and every class will find a use for them. So make sure you hunt down these upgrades.
Gem Blood
There's one in
Skull.
each act. Now we haven't even talked about the most important element of character progression: items. That's why we're all here, right? Items in Path of Exile can be broken down into 4 rarity groups: normal, magic, rare, and unique.
Okay, that makes
One
sense.
of the things you're going to want to do as you play through the campaign is upgrade the items you find, and you can do that with currency items. An Orb of Transmutation will allow you to upgrade a normal item to a magic item with 1 mod. You can then apply an Orb of Augmentation to add a second mod, then use a Regal Orb to add a third mod, and upgrade it to a rare. Finally, you can use some Exalted Orbs to add more mods to your rare to a total of 6 mods. One of the things we think is really important is to make
Or
these
you just
options
find a good
available
item,
to
right?
use as you play. All the items that add mods are much more common than they were in Path of Exile.
No more
1,
Chaos
so that you can
Alterations?
use them throughout your campaign.
Oh, you can't change your mods anymore.
We want you to find things on the
That's
ground
what they
that can
do,
be
right?
crafted into upgrades much more frequently. As well as making the
You
drop
can't
rates on
reroll
these items
anymore.
much more common, you can also get them by disenchanting unwanted gear at the magic item
I
vendor.
mean, that
If you
definitely
disenchant
makes
magic
drops
items,
more
you can
important.
build up to an Orb of Transmutation, and by disenchanting rares, you can build up to Regal Orbs. Another important area of crafting items in PoE 2 is sockets. Some items you find will have sockets that can have Ezomite runes placed in them that add more mods to the item.
Still
If I insert this
sockets.
glacial rune into my helmet, it will give
With the
extra cold
runes, okay, what do
resistance.
they do now?
This is a great way to solve problems that you have with your build, like resistances or damage. If you find socketed
Okay.
items that you don't have a use
Like
for,
more
you can
stats
take
like
them to
another
the
Apex on
salvage
top
bench in
basically.
town to work
And they don't
towards
have
them part of the
colors, which is
support.
good.
This will allow you to
Right,
add
so you can,
sockets to
like,
your
add-
existing items. Body armors and 2-hand weapons can have up to 2 sockets.
So you can like
while the
add
rest of
any
the armor
rune
and
to any
one-hand weapons
weapon.
can only have 1 socket.
Yeah, it's like random
You
components,
can
yeah.
also salvage items with quality
That's
to
nice.
create items like armor scraps or whetstones. These will allow you to increase the quality
I
of
mean,
your
they're
items for
reasonable.
up to 20% boost. If you don't want to disenchant or salvage your items, you can always sell them for gold. Gold can be
Yeah,
used to
it's
buy
very
items from
similar to Grim
vendors,
Dawn
and
components
we've tried to
actually.
do a lot
Like,
to make sure that the items they have for sale
it's
are actually
more like
useful.
Grim Dawn components than
Every time you level up,
old
they get more
sockets
stock,
were, and
so
like,
make sure to
I mean,
check back
obviously,
often.
way more.
Other vendors offer a gamble. Pay a flat amount
It's
of
interesting.
gold and you'll get a random item of a specific type. This could be a great way to improve your gear.
Okay,
if you're
gambler,
lucky.
okay, yeah.
Gold is also used to respec your passive skills.
Makes
Take
sense.
advantage of this system to
If you have
experiment
like
with your
absolutely
tree
no
and
luck with
rework it
drops,
as
you
required.
have some
The other thing
like
you might
extra
want to use
gold, might
for
as
is the
well
currency
gamble.
exchange. This allows you to exchange currency items with other players on an open market in exchange for a small gold fee. Now, all items in Path of
in-game
Exile
currency
are freely
market's
tradable.
huge.
We never bind anything to your character except gold.
What?
Now, most gear in Path of Exile 2 is randomly generated, but there's another type that isn't: uniques. They are especially rare, each with a handcrafted set of
Unique.
unusual mods which can dramatically change a character's build. They're not just better rare items, they can do much stranger things that can fundamentally change your
Let's
character.
see.
Corpse Wade will make any corpses you run through
Oh,
explode
okay, it's like
into clouds of
unique
poison.
mods that have like skills
The
and
Sands of Silk
skill
is a body armor that
transmutations,
changes your dodge
basically.
roll into a blink, morphing you into sand as you teleport past your foes. And of course, some uniques are just pure hits of dopamine, like Quill Rain, which just turns your bow attacks into full auto by doubling your attack speed. Each unique is something that you can build your character around. We try to make sure that most unique items have a potential use at endgame, even if you find them early on. And as you can see, every single unique item comes with custom art to match.
Cool, cool.
The last character progression system that you can do during the campaign
ID
is
scrolls
Ascension.
are... yeah.
Starting in Act 2, you will come across Ascension trials. Tests that you
I understand why
must
they
complete to unlock your
exist. I'm not a
Ascension
fan
class.
personally, but...
We'll explain these trials soon, but first let's take a look at what Ascending can do for your character.
Trials of
Each
Ascendency.
class has access to 3 Ascendancy classes, but at the start of Early Access, only 2 per class will be available. Ascendancy classes are unique to each character class, so choose wisely. They can drastically affect how you build your character.
Log in, you're on the manual. Welcome back, 48 months,
As a
appreciate the
sorceress, you
support.
could become a Stormweaver, a master of the elements.
Stormweaver, okay.
Tempest Caller causes elemental storms to be summoned
Sounds very
each
like
time you do a
Elementalist.
critical hit with a spell. With Strike twice, you can stack 2 copies of Shock.
Cross
for more
progression
damage.
between
And
PC
going
and the
deeper into
console?
tree, you can make all your damage types apply Shock.
Maybe, probably,
Make a Shock build from any
hopefully.
skill. Alternatively, you could become a Chronomancer and
think so.
command time itself.
That's pretty
She
cool.
literally has the ability to stop time with Time Freeze. Not only that, but she has many other time manipulation
Oh, you do
abilities.
get unique
Using
skills here
Temporal Rift,
now.
she can teleport back to a previous
Interesting.
location, resetting her life
So
and mana
Ascendancies
back to what it
are a
was.
bit more defined
Or
than
with
before,
Time
right?
Snap,
Because you
she
don't
can
have...
reset all her cooldowns and cast all her
You can't get
spells
all
again.
skills.
On
Interesting.
the warrior, you can choose
I mean, maybe
between
not
the
like every
Warbringer or the
Ascendancy
Titan.
grants you skills,
The
but...
Warbringer channels the might of his ancestors.
Yeah,
to
that's
gain
like how you
tremendous
do it.
power. Using Answered Call, you
Yeah,
can
yeah,
summon
yeah.
ancestral
Honestly,
spirits linked to
I
each of
always
your
wish... I
totems.
mean, like 5 years ago, right?
With Jade Heritage,
I always
you
thought
can
like
encase your
Grimdark should have
body in a
like
protective layer
skills that you
absorbs
get when
all
you get
damage
like
until it
become like
breaks.
when you become like a certain combination, right? So like a
Warcaller's
Definer
spell
gets like
allows you to explode
certain
the
like
corpses of
unique
your
skills that are
enemies.
unique to Definer, for
Great
example.
Wolf's
Right?
Howl, you can ignore the cooldowns
It's
of
like
your
also like another way to
warcries.
like balance like bad
Let all that
classes,
anger
like
out.
combinations, to give them like
The Titan
better
class
skills,
is
you know.
all about hitting big. With Earthbreaker,
Corpse
every
explosion,
slam
eh?
has a chance to create an aftershock. With Crushing Impacts, every hit becomes a crushing blow, which will allow you to stun your enemies with ease. With Surprising Strength, you can take advantage of stunned enemies to deal 40% more damage. As
Stun
a
build.
ranger, you might choose to be a Deadeye, an expert markswoman who can take down foes with style. With Endless Munitions, every attack gains an extra projectile.
Yeah, that's a favorite.
With Gathering Winds, she gains a small increase to movement speed with every
I need a
attack.
Deadeye, for
But
sure.
Be careful, she loses them when getting hit. With Eagle Eyes, she will never miss, allowing you to
And
stop
Deadeye is
wasting
like
all those passive
one of
points on
the,
accuracy.
if not the most popular
Alternatively,
softcore
you
class,
could become
right?
a Pathfinder, the master of
Pathfinder,
flasks
okay.
and poison. She can choose from one of several throwable concoctions.
So no
allowing her
ranger?
to spend
No,
her
not
flask
ranger, what's it
charges to
called?
throw explosive bottles that deal various types of damage.
The lightning melee
A
variant or
bleeding
something,
concoction
right?
will make your enemies bleed, while a fulminating one can shock your enemies, allowing you to do extra damage.
Wait, what were the
Contagious
warrior classes called
contamination
again?
allows her to spread
I think I
poison
was like
between
talking
her
too much.
foes, while overwhelming toxicity doubles the number of stacks they can be infected by. Running Assault allows her to move much more quickly while firing, while
that's
Relentless
cool.
Pursuit makes her totally immune to being slowed by enemies.
Complete
The
slow
Witch can
immunity.
ascend into the Infernalist or the Blood Mage. As an
Infernalist.
Infernalist, she can summon a loyal Hellhound companion. The Hellhound
Summon
sets enemies on
Hellhound.
fire, as well as taking a percentage of the damage if the Infernalist gets hit. With Pyromantic Pact, you can turn your mana into Infernal Flame. As you cast more spells, the flame builds up, and if it overflows, you'll take damage. Using
Like
Bringer
fire
of Flame, you'll want to make
skeleton
sure you
build.
keep the flames topped up. While your Infernal
this is the
Flame is above
Definer
30%,
class right
all
here.
damage from you and your minions will ignite enemies. She can also transform into a literal demon.
Oh,
While in demon form, she takes an increasing amount of damage, but her cast speed and damage increase rapidly as well.
take more
So if you're
damage?
planning
What
on
the
transforming
fuck?
into a demon, make sure you stack a lot of life recovery. She can also become a Blood Mage, a master of life and energy. All Blood Mages must pay the price of making skills cost life as well as mana, but in exchange, every monster they kill will drop life remnants, which allow them to quickly gain
Oh,
back
like the
that
first node you always have to pick here, right?
life. With Crimson Power, she can gain large
At
amounts
least
of
in this
extra
class.
life, and with Vitality Siphon, she can use her spells to leech life back as well. Once you've got a significant amount of life, you can use Gore Spike to make your critical hits deal incredible amounts of damage. A monk who is in tune with the elements might become an Invoker. With Elemental Expression,
Invoker.
the Invoker will create waves of elemental power each time he does a
The art is
critical
very
strike.
cool, yeah.
With Faith as a choice, you gain the ability to meditate, allowing you to double your energy shield.
Stand still
Choose
in an
between I am
RPG.
the Blizzard or I am the Thunder to specialize in cold
I
or
am the storm.
And I Shall Rage will allow you to turn into an unbound avatar. Each time you
Okay,
apply
so this
a
is like
status element to
elemental
an enemy, you gain
monk,
unbound
right?
fury.
Now we need
When
spear
you have
monk.
enough, transform into an avatar to deal way more damage and inflict even more elemental ailments.
Oh, it becomes an
Some
Archon.
monks choose to reach into the darkness instead. The Acolyte of Chayula can exchange their mastery
Acolyte
of
of
spirit for
Chayula.
darkness, a resource that can be utilized to both absorb and deal damage. The Shroud of Darkness will protect you from all damage incoming. But if
Okay.
you take Grasp of the Void, you will deal extra chaos damage from all the darkness you have.
Okay.
Their Dark Pact offers greatly increased resistances to chaos damage and can allow their mana leech to not only happen instantly, but apply to their energy shield as well.
There's some kind of like trickster class in
Another
a
node
way,
you can
right? Like
take is
Monk is
Waking
like
Dream,
agility,
which
wisdom.
allows you to see into the
Just
domain
like
of
Shadow,
the
I
Bridge
guess.
Demons. There you will see the flames of Chayula that can be taken to gain life, mana, and damage. The mercenary has a job to do, but which job suits you? You might
Mercenary
choose
is
to
a
become a witch hunter.
strength dex, right? It's like a
Obsessive rituals will give you a sorcery
What's it
ward,
called again?
allowing you to
Duelist?
defend yourself against elemental hits in exchange for less defense against attacks.
less armor and
With Zealous
evasion.
Inquisition, your enemies have a 10% chance to explode on death. The chance is doubled against demons and undead. With Judge, Jury, and Executioner, your initial hit against enemies can deal up to 30% of their life and damage, if you're lucky. This is great for hunting powerful bosses.
If you're lucky,
And with
what's the
Witchbane,
chance?
You can break your enemy's concentration,
That might be
preventing them from
interesting.
casting spells as often as they would usually do.
But also stupid in a way.
You could also choose to become a Gemling Legionnaire, enhancing your abilities by embedding gems directly in your flesh. Integrated Efficiency will give you extra skill slots. Thermatological Infusion gives you
You can
extra
become
maximum
Darius Cromlayer.
resistances as you sock up more and more
This
support
is the
gems.
Darius Cromley in theory.
Adaptive Capability allows you to use any color of gem without worrying about attributes, while Crystalline Potential adds extra quality bonuses to every gem socketed into your character. So those are the Ascendency classes for the start of Early Access. But one thing we haven't talked about yet is how you ascend in the first place. Ascension in Path of Exile 2 requires completion of one of the Great Trials,
It's all
which
pretty
you'll
interesting.
find as you progress
That's
through
for
the
sure.
campaign. Each one is associated with one of the major cultures of Rayclast.
Yeah, Gem guy is gonna be like some
Located
5-head
in the
class, I feel
Vesperi
like.
plains are the Marrakech,
It's gonna be hard to figure
a
out, but then
culture
like
of
there's
rich
gonna be some
tales
guy
and
who's
brutal
gonna make like an
traditions
insane
who
build.
must do
And it's
whatever
like
it takes
PS
to
fuck.
survive in the desert. The highest position in Marrakech culture is a Sekima, and it is not a title given freely.
Probably.
All aspirants must complete the Trial of the Sekimas, a grueling gauntlet that will test their strength, will, cunning, and patience. To enter, a warrior of the Marrakech must prove their worth by trapping the soul of a djinn in a coin, and you are no different. Once you have earned your coin, it may be placed on the relic altar to begin the trial.
The Crucible.
In the Trial of the Sekimas, each room has its own challenges to overcome. In this room, each rare monster you kill will send its blood to the chalice in the center of the room. Once the chalice is filled, you will be able to proceed. While fighting monsters in the trial, you will need to be very careful. Each hit will not only hurt you, but will damage your honor. The monsters
Oh
are
no,
well
it's
telegraphed,
fucking-
so that you can avoid
what's
their
it
attacks,
called?
but if you run
The
out of
one thing
honor,
where you
will
couldn't get
fail
hit?
the trial and need to find another coin in order to try again.
Sanctum.
It is a good idea to make sure that you are
You have
well
to ascend
prepared
via
for
Sanctum
challenging
now.
the Trial of the Sekimas.
What the fuck?
After each room, you will be rewarded. In this case, you have been given a key that can be used to unlock chests later in the trial. Once you have claimed your reward, you will be shown a map of the rest of the floor and may choose how you wish to proceed. Which challenges would you like to face? And which rewards do you want to claim?
Sanctum, no
Some
way,
rooms are
log
more
out.
dangerous,
Of
afflicting
course
you with
Twitch is gonna
debuffs
hate
that will
that.
persist for the entire trial.
Twitch chat is gonna hate
For
that.
example, entering this room will afflict you with spiked shell that will cause all monsters in the rest of the trial to have 50% increased life.
What do you do if you're meta?
want
You
to
are
take care if you
honorless,
choose
right?
such
You're
a
gonna
path.
lose all your honor.
There are many different challenges and rewards as you journey through the trial. Deadly traps, waves of monsters.
Sanctum with
Strange
labs.
artifacts
It's
will
like
test
Sanctum
your
and lab
honor.
together. It's like
As you
lab, but
progress, you'll be able to gain
I don't
boons
mind
from
it,
the
I
gym,
think.
which will
But
help
most
you on
people are
your
gonna like
journey.
say, oh, that's like
For example, the Sekima's
Sanctum
cloak
and
will
lab
revive you
together,
once
but
if you
worse,
die,
right?
giving you a
They're gonna
second
hate it
shot
even
at a
more, I
run.
think.
One of the rewards you may find is Sacred Water, an extremely valuable and treasured resource to the Jinn and the Marrakech. Trading it with the Jinn will allow
I mean,
you to
I think
receive
this
many
is still
benefits.
cool as fuck and it's gonna be
You can
interesting.
recover honor, gain additional boons,
Recover
or
honor.
remove afflictions. At the end of the floor, you'll find a powerful boss which will truly test your limitations. In order
boss
to
fight.
ascend, you will need to defeat him.
But like, can you get hit? Can you play melee here, or do you lose your honor if you play melee? Shouldn't you like gain honor for a melee hit? Like every time you use a melee hit and hit an enemy, you should like gain
You've
honor.
earned the right to ascend.
Isn't it like the
First,
honorable way to
loot.
fight?
The keys you have found may be used to open the various treasures in the vault at the end of the floor. We only have a single bronze key, so we'll just have to open one of these small chests. If you want to open the better ones, you'll need silver or gold keys.
It's just like
Let's
lab.
use the Altar of Ascendency. Your first ascension will allow you to pick your class and grant you 2 points to use in the
Literally
tree.
lab with like some sanctum.
Now there are more floors and many more
Honor
rewards that can be
elements
found
on
within the
top.
Trial of the Secumus, but we'll save that for the section on the endgame. For now, let's talk about the second Ascendency trial, the Trial of Chaos.
Oh yeah,
In
there's
Path of
different
Exile 2,
trials
you can
though,
choose
yeah.
whichever trial you like to earn your ascension.
Oh, okay.
Each culture on Rayclast had their own methods to ascend. If the Trial of the Secumus is not your kind of playstyle, or you're finding it too difficult, you could try another. You can gain all your ascension points from just one, or mix and match them. It's up to you. For early access, we will have
Hey,
2 trials
choices.
as options, with a
Woohoo.
3rd trial coming later for the full release.
3
While
choices, 2
exploring the
available
Vile
now.
jungle, you'll discover the Temple of Chaos.
If you want your
Before the
honor
Vile
back,
embraced
just
the
drink.
science of
Oh yeah,
corruption,
just
their
drink. Yeah,
civilization worshipped chaos.
that's the key takeaway
This
here.
ancient trial was once used by the Vile to test their high priests. A high priest of the Vile must show willingness to risk everything to gain power. Entry to the trial
Ultimatum.
requires a token from a strange entity known only as the Trial Master. For those in which he sees potential, he shall inscribe an ultimatum.
Yo, Scrap, welcome.
Many have attempted these trials in search of greatness.
Yeah, you can either
Most have
drink or
perished.
fight an
Will
ultimatum.
you be able
right?
to defy the odds? Before you begin each chamber, the Trial Master will offer you a reward and a choice. Choose one of 3 tribulations to affect you through the rest of the trial. These
Tribulations.
modifiers might beef up the monsters, curse the player, or add environmental hazards like turrets or trap
So it's like
rooms.
ultimatum, but
In this case, we're
like a
picking
dungeon,
shocking
right?
turrets. As you enter the room, the Trial Master will fill it with hazards to test your commitment. In this case, you must destroy all the monsters that fill the room, while dealing with the lightning projectiles from the shocking turrets.
it's like SR, really. It's like SR, except like every time you go to the next level, you like choose, you know, like own modifier, right? This is literally SR. I mean, defeat all monsters? I don't know about that. Shouldn't be like defeat a certain amount of monsters. Like, I don't know about all monsters. That always
After each
includes
room, you'll need to
backtracking.
make a choice. Take the rewards you have earned so far, or go double or nothing.
All is
Increase your
always a bit,
rewards,
eh.
but take on more risk. Each tribulation you add is minor on its own, but they quickly stack on top of each other and can become overwhelming. There are many types of chambers in the trial. Each will test your resolve in different ways.
Yeah, like 90,
This one simply requires you
95%.
survive for a certain amount of time.
Okay, now it's actually ultimatum.
Another requires you to escort the stone idol through
Escort.
the levels elevators full of monsters descend to attack you. Should you be able to get through the first 3 chambers, you will face your first boss.
Okay, this boss is
Order
cool
of the
though.
bosses is random, and combined with the tribulations you have selected, the fight will never feel the same.
This guy
After
is
defeating
cool
the
as
boss,
fuck
you may
though.
claim
Like, he
your
looks
rewards.
really cool.
Of course there are the items, but you also gain the right to ascend. If you already did the Trial of the Secumus, then you can claim 2 more points to add to your Ascendency class. Now it's possible to go much deeper. There are more bosses, rewards, and risks to take, but we'll talk more about that when we get to Endgame. So how about we talk about that now? So far, we've only been showing you footage from the campaign, but some people would argue that the Endgame is where the game truly begins. Something that happens almost every time a new
65 to
action
Act
RPG
6.
launches is people saying, there isn't enough in-game content.
They're gonna have 6 acts in the beta
Well, we
or
want
6
to
in
make
the
sure
full
that in
game?
PoE 2, people don't feel that way. And we actually only changed our development priority for this recently. The first 3 acts of PoE 2 already take around 25 hours to complete if you're a new player. This is already a pretty significant campaign. On the other hand, people spend hundreds of hours in endgame each league. We realized that finishing the rest of the campaign for early access was actually a bad idea. Instead of having acts 4 to 6 in early access, we could concentrate on endgame and make that great. For new players, a 25-hour campaign is already a huge game with lots of content. But for existing action RPG players, what you mostly care about is all the endgame challenges to overcome. So several months ago, we switched the entire development team's focus over to making endgame content.
Rushed
At the
endgame?
start of early access, there'll be 50 bosses and around 400 monster types. But the great thing is that the rest of the game is like 80% there. We'll be adding content to roughly double the size of the game during early access and into release. Now, in order to make the endgame happen at the same character level as what it would be after we added the rest of the acts, we've added a second difficulty level called Cruel, where you repeat the campaign with all the monsters and bosses leveled up.
Okay, just like
and
in
of course,
PoE
new
1.
rewards. You can kind of think of it as like a new game plus. It's also a lot faster to get through the content the second time as your clear speed increases. That will take you to around level 65 for the end game
PoE
begins.
classic.
Once we add the remaining 3 acts, we'll be removing Cruel difficulty. So you'll
I mean,
progress
this is
straight from
fair
level
though,
6
I
to
think.
endgame.
Like, considering they're gonna like
What is the
release
endgame?
like next month,
To
right?
explain
Pretty
that, I'll
much.
hand over to Mark. He can tell you all about it.
Hi, I'm Mark Roberts, Game Director on Path of Exile 2. Well, one thing that Path of Exile is known for is having a lot of distinct endgame content to choose between. Each endgame mechanic needs to
It's
have
not
its
a
own
real RPG
progression
unless it has
system,
3 difficulties.
areas,
I mean, normal,
bosses,
cruel,
rewards,
endgame, right?
and player
That's 3,
power
right?
that can only be gained from that content. We are going to be adding a lot more over time, but for Path of Exile 2, we decided to start with 7 distinct systems you can progress through.
7.
This is the Atlas, and it serves as the core of the endgame for Path of Exile 2.
Oh,
It's
that's the
infinite
Atlas map.
and expands in all directions. Now, we are not
Cool
going to
as fuck.
spoil the plot too much here, but corruption from the beast has blighted the
This
land,
looks-
and your objective is to help
This looks
fight
like
it.
such a
In
cool,
the center of
comfy
the
board
Atlas, you will
game, you
find
know?
the Ziggurat, a temple in which the Val research
really
the
cool.
fundamentals of space and time. Here,
It's
we
like a
can
cool,
open
comfy
portals to
board
nearby
game you wanna, like, play with your
locations
friends or
and
your
begin cleansing
family.
corruption and finding resources. In order to power the portal device, we will need waystones.
Like Mario Party,
Each
exactly.
waystone has a tier, which will determine the level of the monsters that you will face.
Skill tree has like
To go to an area,
1,500
simply click
notes.
one that is
Yeah, they showed it
adjacent to an
already,
area
like,
that
not
you have
everything,
already
but many,
completed.
yeah, I mean, they
Insert the
kind of showed it.
waystone and click Traverse. Portals will open, allowing you and your party to travel to the area you have selected. All the areas in the endgame feel distinct from the locations in the campaign, and we have dialed the randomization up to 11. The monster packs you will face in each map are totally random, and the combination of them can lead to some very interesting combat situations. There are over 400 monster types in early access, and they have a lot of varied and interesting abilities.
It's all
Depending
giga
on which
random?
combinations you face, you might find some serious challenges.
Like, even more random than
In
PoE
order
1.
to cleanse the corruption from the area, you will need to defeat all the powerful rare and unique enemies in it. Once you have done that,
Where's
the area will be
Tomb Lord?
marked as completed and you will be able to travel past it to progress deeper into the world. If you die,
deeper.
then the map can no longer be run, and you will have to find another way around to get to the areas behind it. There are also all
Wait,
kinds
you have,
of
like,
other
6
random
tries, right?
encounters you might run into as you play maps. One such encounter are precursor artifacts. These are ancient, corrupting monuments
Or
that
whatever
irradiate
many-
the
however
monsters
many.
around them. The monsters that feed off the corruption are drawn to their power. If you defeat the monsters and cleanse the artifact, you will get a powerful temporary buff. Some of the buffs make you faster, others rain lightning or fire around you, and some even
time
give you
all
increased
maps.
experience or help you find better
You have to
items.
uninstall the
You
game.
can also find strong boxes. These enigmatic chests guard piles of treasure, but are always a trap. Monsters lie in wait to attack you the moment you open it, and the boxes often have mechanisms to unleash powerful spells or dangerous debuffs. There are different types of strong boxes containing different items, and you can even use your currency items to craft them on the fly, so you can optimize the contents. But be careful of opening one you can't handle.
Detonates never... Okay, it's gonna die to detonate dead, right?
Sometimes you'll discover monsters frozen in essences, solidified crystalline corruption. These dangerous monsters can be broken free. If you defeat them, the essence they drop can be used to upgrade normal items to magic items with a guaranteed mod from a category.
Okay.
For example, we could use this
Essences
one on some
are
boats
in
to ensure
the
a
game
movement
already,
speed
yeah.
mod.
Cool.
Rarely, essences will also drop that allow you to upgrade magics to rares, adding the guaranteed mod.
Magics to rares.
This is incredibly powerful since it allows you to get a
That makes like crafting on blues a lot better than PoE 1 at least early, right? I
these with the
think.
currencies that are commonly found in
Like I feel like in
Rayquaza
PoE 1 I
for
never
modifying items, and we
crafted
can
on
get a very
blues,
nice
like
pair of
whites
boots
and the
indeed.
essence the white, and then you craft on the yellow, right? But like, or like just
Waystones,
leave it
like
as it
all
is.
items, can also be crafted using your currency items.
Like now blues are way better.
Adding prefix mods will improve the rewards, while suffix mods increase danger. The more dangerous a map is, the more waystones will drop. Adding mods to your waystones is key to progressing to higher tiers and sustaining
Back to
them,
D4.
but it will require you
Back
to
to
take
Grim
on
Dawn
larger
League.
challenges. There are a variety of factors you have to consider when crafting your waystones. Some maps will have higher
Dude, look at this
density, some
demolitionist,
lower,
dude.
some have more magic and rare chests, or monsters, some are
Very
more
nice.
linear, and others more open. Make sure you explore and think about what makes certain maps good if you want to maximize your returns. As you cleanse corruption from higher and higher tiers of the Atlas, you will gain points that you can spend in the Atlas tree. This
Why
tree
is it still a
allows you
book
to
of
juice the
knowledge?
danger and rewards
I
of
guess.
all areas in the endgame.
Oh, Atlas.
You could increase the number of monsters, the number of rares, the number
Fire
of precursor
maps.
artifacts or strongboxes, even the quantity of item drops.
Canister bomb build, yeah, exactly.
As you explore the endgame world map, you'll notice various different biomes, from snow-capped mountains to dense jungle valleys. Most maps are restricted to certain
jungle.
biomes. As you
They're
continue
dead.
to explore deeper into the Atlas, there are all sorts of things to discover. These cities are constructed by different peoples of Rayclast and have specific items that can be found there. These strange structures marked on the map don't appear to do anything for now. Perhaps you'll work out how to use them later. You might find unique maps like Untainted Paradise, an undisturbed island full of beasts that give an extreme amount of experience. You may even find a lonely man
642%
just enjoying his
increased
retirement
experience.
who will give you a unique item for free. In addition, you can find special areas that would make a good spot to set up camp. Clear these areas of their hostile inhabitants, and you'll be able to claim them as your own hideout. You can decorate your hideout as you see fit and invite various NPCs to join you there to create your own personal base of operations.
Okay, I mean, that's pretty cool.
A great tool for exploration are towers. These mysterious precursor constructs are
Nameless
dotted around the
turd.
Atlas. Completing the tower will reveal a large area around it, allowing you to scout out your next challenge. There
Hey,
are
they added
lots of
beacons
things to
from
find,
last epoch.
so keep looking. Some sections of your Atlas are influenced by
Oh, that's cool, though.
corruption. This adds extra modifiers to the maps in the region, increasing difficulty and rewards. Here, slaying monsters in close proximity to each other will cause the vestiges of corruption within them to merge together, forming powerful and grotesque abominations. You may have noticed while looking at the Atlas that some of the areas have these icons above them. The icon
It's like
indicates
Far
that the
Cry
area contains some
Watchtowers.
kind of special encounter. This icon
Ubisoft
indicates that the
Tower,
area
exactly.
has a powerful boss. Because only 1 in 4 maps contain a map boss, we are able to make them very powerful and very rewarding. These bosses come from the campaign, but have had their difficulty increased with changes to AI and some of their abilities.
Changes to
It's
AI,
worth
yeah.
noting that because you can see where the bosses are, you can choose to take them on
Next,
or
in
avoid
PoE
them.
3,
If
you're
you
gonna
do
fight
choose to hunt
ChatGPT.
bosses, though, then you will be rewarded with
ChatGPT is gonna
special
make all the
points for
bosses.
boss hunting section of the Atlas skill tree. The points here will allow you to specialize in boss killing, giving you much greater rewards for defeating them. For each different type of content
This
in the
fucking canister
endgame, we are
bomb,
adding
dude.
specialized trees in order to make it so you don't feel the need to respec your points when you change between different types of content. We will be showing you 7 of these by the end of this presentation, so there is still a lot more to come. Bosses are not the only icon you will see on the Atlas. Let's take a look at one of the endgame systems, Breach. If you played PoE 1, you might be familiar with Breach. For PoE 2, we have created sequels to several PoE 1 leagues. While the mechanic is familiar, the monsters, bosses, rewards, and progression are all new. A breach is a tear in the fabric of reality. Opening it will allow
This
you to see
hand
the
looks a lot better
demons
now.
and otherworldly monstrosities that lie in wait on this other plane of existence. By engaging
I
with
mean,
a breach, you'll create a
To be
bridge between
fair,
their
so
world
far
and
they just
Rayclast.
copied whatever
In order
endgame
to
they
keep the
had in
breach
PoE 1 that
open,
was
you will need to
popular, right,
kill
and
the
just put it in
demons
PoE
that
2.
pour forth. The faster you
I
can
don't
kill the
blame them.
monsters, the more monsters you will fight.
That seems
and the
like
more
a
loot you will
safe
find.
way to do it.
You can also find clasped hands that will open and drop more
I don't think I've
items if
ever
you run
done
over them.
Breach.
These can be a good boost
Like
to
it-
the rewards of the breach, so keep an eye out. One of the rewards that you may find while fighting monsters from Breach
Didn't really
are
like seem
tablets.
interesting.
Tablets are special items that can be used with precursor towers to add more encounters to the Atlas. Breaches will drop breach tablets. Clicking on a completed tower will allow you to consume the tablet to add more breaches to areas within range of the tower. This makes all the content in
that's
the
how you
Atlas
like modify your map, right?
Want to do
Stuff
more
from the
breaches?
tower
Find the tablets, add
to
them
get
your
more
towers,
of this thing.
More breaches, getting more tablets. Soon your Atlas will be covered in otherworldly domains. In addition, like all
breach the
items in
breaches
PoE,
to breach
you
more
can craft
breaches,
them. Use
and
your
then
currency
open the
to
breach
add mods to your tablets, allowing
to have
you to upgrade
breachings.
all the breaches in range. Tablets can have up to 2 mods. These mods do things like adding extra rare
They do
monsters,
things, yeah.
extra class
I'm sure they do.
pans, or even mods to density of breaches, allowing you to keep them open longer. Often
Okay.
you will find multiple towers near to each other with overlapping areas of effect.
Oh yeah,
This
so they can
allow
like
you
add breaches
really
to the
juice
breaches of the
mechanic by
breaches.
stacking the mods from multiple tablets.
So you need.
In your fight
Is
to
the
hold
map
breach
like
demons
always
at
the same
bay,
for
you
everybody,
may want to
or
use the
is it
powers of
like
their
the
word
map
against them.
randomly
Each
generated
mechanic
for each
always has
player?
player
Imagine
power
that,
can
right?
only be gained from that
And then like
mechanic,
somebody has
and
like a
breach is no
lucky
different.
map
In
layout
breach,
to
you will
farm
find
breaches, and
catalysts,
another guy doesn't.
Items that can increase the
No, but like
quality of rings
it has to
and
be
amulets
fixed,
by
right?
improving specific mods. You can also find breach
So
rings,
that's like
a
one
special
breach
base
area,
type that
right?
can have its quality improved by catalysts up to 50%.
Like if
In this
you-
case, you could create a ring with around 170 life.
fuck is
Breach rings
this?
can become some of the strongest rings in the game,
Breach
giving you
ring.
some good motivation to face the
This one
demon
certainly
hordes.
breaches the
In
balance.
addition, each endgame mechanic needs to have a pinnacle endgame encounter.
Oh, yeah, of
While
course.
killing breach monsters, you may find
Well, you can
breach
find the
splinters.
breach.
Collect enough of these and you'll be able to create
The
a breach
breacher.
stone. Using a Val technology called the Realm Gate, you can use your breachstone to access their domain and bring the fight to them. In this twisted domain, you will find nothing but a single massive breach. Triggering it will reveal hordes of breach inhabitants.
Dude, I got fucking opposite saying breach. Single massive breach. This looks really fucking cool though. Yep. This is cool as fuck. Oh, flicker breach.
Should you be fast enough, you will be able to fight their leader, Zesht. We that
Dude,
are
I
one.
literally had this idea today. I was like thinking, what can we do with new Super Boss Synchron Dawn? What if you have like a Super Boss encounter where you first have to like do like a wave of monsters or like a map, and if you don't clear it in time, you can't fight the boss. This is literally that. We who are one. Like, don't fucking spoil the entire fight. What are you doing? Okay, like, now I'll do the cut, right? Okay, yeah. Breach zones in PoE1 were like this? Oh, I didn't even know. I just thought of it, like, what can we do in Grundon? The fucking Grundon engine, which is scuffed. But you can actually do it in Grundon, I think, as well.
But rest assured, this is some of the
Yeah, I never did a
hardest
breach stone. I
content
didn't have no
we've
idea
ever
this
made.
exists
All
in
these encounters
PoE1.
have specific uniques
But yeah, it's
that
cool,
can only
it's
be
cool.
found from them, but that's
It's very
not all.
cool.
We still have the progression system. Defeating Zesht will give you points to allocate into the breach section of the Atlas tree. Allocating these
Another
points will
tree
make
per
breaches
mechanic.
and the breach domain even harder. But
Dude,
will give
break
you
every
more
time he says
rewards.
breaches. Like,
The small
rewatch this and then,
nodes will
like, break
increase
every
the
time he says
difficulty of
breach or
the twisted
breaches.
domain, while the large nodes have more specific bonuses. For example, this node adds more clasped hands to your breaches, and adds a pack of magic monsters that can guard them. Get some more points and you can allocate Waking Nightmare, which will double the number of splinters
How
you
many
get
trees is
from
this
clasped
reskin gonna
hands,
have?
and inflict you with a mysterious
Honestly, I'm mostly hyped for the
order
new
to earn more
classes, I
points, you
think,
will need
so
to
far.
defeat Zesht
And
at a
like,
higher difficulty, and some rewards from
many
Zesht can
ways
only be found by
to
increasing the
have
difficulty
like
of
the way
twisted
skill
domain
gems work
above
be more
certain
casual friendly.
thresholds. Defeating Zesht at difficulty 4 will be a challenge indeed, but there are many more threats in Raid Pass.
What is this, the hand from Super Smash Bros?
Ritual altars are sacrificial sites built by the mysterious King in the Mists. If you encounter this symbol on the Atlas, then you know that the area contains ritual altars.
You're
Ritual
also thinking
altars
about.
demand tribute. Every monster you slaughter in the circle will feed
Yeah,
to
Super
the
Smash
altar.
Hand, exactly.
After the sacrifice, touch it to begin the ritual. The monsters you just killed will be resurrected by the King of the Mist's dark magic, and you must fight to survive.
Oh, ritual, look at that.
The
That's a
tribute
new
you have offered
mechanic.
to the altar can be spent to buy powerful items, but they can be expensive. To gain more tribute, you will want to find more altars. Each successive ritual you do within an area will spawn the monsters revived by the previous ones, in addition to the ones you sacrifice next to it. By the end of an area, you will be fighting a truly imposing number of foes, but will have a significant amount of tribute to spend. One of the rewards you can buy with tribute are omens. These are special items that allow for metacrafting.
I feel like we've
Crafting
already
items that affect other crafting items.
way
Have an item with
overshot
good
the
prefixes but bad
attention span
suffixes?
of the
This
average
omen
Diablo
will
4
help you to
player, right? So
remove the
that
mods you
average
don't
Diablo
want
4 players are
while
already
keeping
like,
the ones you do.
I'm
There
out.
are a
This
bunch
is too
more of
much.
these with different effects, but we will leave them for you to discover. Now, don't forget that ritual will also
It's like
drop
fucking
tablets,
information
which can be
overload.
used to specialize into getting more rituals. If you want to get to the pinnacle boss of ritual, then you will probably want to use them. They can also be crafted to grant mods, making your rituals more rewarding. The pinnacle encounter of ritual
It's like
is
I'm listening to like a
King in the
2-hour
Mist.
lecture in
Feared
university,
by the
right?
Asmeri people, he is said to have
I
brought
think it's cool
eternal
as fuck,
darkness
but
to the Wildwood. We won't show the encounter.
I
but
can really
just
like see so many
Breach,
people
there
like
are
be
a
like,
range
yo,
of unique items you
they're
can
just
get for
gonna.
defeating him, and you will
I
gain
can't follow
points in the
anyway.
ritual
I'm out.
section of the Atlas tree. Some maps have been touched by insanity. A
Delirium
mysterious
as well.
entity has
Do
taken
they
a
have like
special interest in
everything
you.
already?
Step
Yeah?
through the looking glass and you will find your nightmares coming to life. When you touch a mirror, the mists of delirium will spread out across the area.
Wait,
affecting
where's
your
the
mind.
where's the end
You
game
must
for
stay
ritual
within the
now? I
mist
thought
to
they added like
maintain the
something
nightmare,
cool,
which
like
is
pinnacle
as
boss
profitable
as well.
as it is terrifying. Everything you
I didn't
kill
wanna
will
spoiler
increase
this
the
time.
rewards that drop. However, the deeper into the mist you travel, the stronger the monsters are. Be careful not to overstay your welcome. Rare and unique enemies.
This could be
will
like
become
5 billion
vessels
videos on
with
YouTube with like
terrifying demons. You will
TLDRs or
manifest
like
out of them to unleash powerful attacks
my
on
brain
you.
too small,
The
please
mist
explain
also offers a strange
videos
crafting
as well, right?
material, distilled
So,
emotions.
and there's gonna be
By
like
combining
videos
these
for like I have
emotions, you are able
Gigabrain,
to instill your
you have
amulets
Gigabrain
with a
too, you can
notable
watch
from the
me.
passive skill tree. This is like gaining an extra passive point for free attached to your gear. They are also
Add like 5 more
particularly
hours
great
of
because you
talking
don't
through
have to
crafting on
traverse
top of
the tree
this.
to get them, allowing you to get off-class bonuses that would normally be much harder to get. Distilled emotions can also be used to instill your in-game maps, applying Delirious to them and adding additional difficulty and rewards, allowing you to further juice your in-game maps. The tablets
I mean,
you
my
can
brain
find
is
from
definitely not too
Delirium
small for
can be
this,
used to
but
further improve it, increase pack
I don't
size,
have
make
like
the
any,
fog
like I would
dissipate
have to
slower,
invest,
or improve
right?
your progress towards the pinnacle encounter of Delirium.
I would have to
Speaking
invest.
of
I would have to like go to
which,
PoE
every now and
Uni
then
for
you will
like a month
find
and then I could like
simulacrum
make a video about
splinters.
it.
The mysterious
it's
entity
not
will
worth it.
create strange encounters based on warped versions of your own memories. Monsters and simulacrums come in waves that get progressively more difficult. You will
Like, not for
receive
me at
loot
least.
at the end of each
Might be
wave,
worth for
and
you.
you'll have to make the decision to leave now or continue on.
But like somebody in
facing
chat
up
who's gonna be the
against
next
other
like
foes from the mist.
big brain to
The
PoE
bosses
2
you will
Andy.
face as you get deeper into a simulacrum are truly terrifying. If you can complete a simulacrum, you will gain points for the Delirium section of the Atlas skill tree. Next up, we have Expedition.
I mean, to be fair, if you already know PoE 1, right, then like all of these are more or less the same as before, I feel like.
Have discovered ancient burial
Some
sites
things
with
are new,
lost
but
Verisium artifacts,
they're mostly just
and they
explaining
want
this
you
to like
help dig them up.
It's funny
With
because like it feels like they're explaining most of this to people that have never played PoE before.
Place explosives as best you can to dig up as many as
But
possible.
those people have already
There
like
is
quit the stream
just
because
one
they
problem.
couldn't keep
Corruption has
watching
brought
because their brain is
corpses of
overloaded
their
with information
ancestors
already,
alive,
right?
So you might have to do a little cleanup before you can reclaim the artifacts.
So now you have like PoE Andy's watching this, rewatching the content that they already know, and be like, oh yeah, this
Also
is
find remnants.
so
The
much better than
destruction of
before.
which
It's literally
will
the same,
further
just
anger
cooler.
the restless dead. Each
I
one
mean, it
you
looks
blow up
better.
will make the subsequent
Sure,
monsters
that's-
more
that's cool.
powerful, but also more rewarding. Danig, Rog, Tujin, and Gwenin will exchange the artifacts for useful items and runic magic. You can also find tablets
You
to
won't be able
increase
to
the
cook
number of
casuals? I mean,
expeditions and the rewards.
Definitely not.
This one increases
think
the
that's
radius
fine.
of
I
explosives, while this one increases the number of remnants you will find. Eventually, you might discover a logbook. These are special maps full of buried treasure and relics. Essentially, one giant dig site. Here, you can create an extremely long chain of explosives and go through a very high number of remnants. But be careful, many remnants have mods that can really brick your build, so you will probably want to avoid
19
these
skill
ones.
trees and
If you
6
add
3
too many
separate
remnants,
resources.
you could easily make the encounter
Yes,
harder than you
Illuminator
need.
moment, yeah.
There are all sorts of interesting things
I had
buried
the same
under the ground
thought.
in logbooks.
And I think
You
Ground
might
Zero as
find
well.
drunken caves and hidden pirate caches, but the most powerful encounter is Olroth, the ancient undead commander of the Knights of the Sun. Defeating him
I know
will grant
offense, we love you,
unique rewards,
Illuminator, for
as
who you
well as
are, but
points to
this
spend in
is
the
not casual
expedition
friendly in any
section of
way.
the Atlas tree. So those are the
I
in-game
played
systems
PoE
of the
casually,
Atlas,
sure you
but
did.
we are not done yet. The trials we talked about earlier have much more content when you get to Endgame 2. Just like the other Endgame systems, they also have progression mechanics, unique rewards, and player power that can only be gained from them. As you get higher level coins for the Trial of the Sycamores, you will unlock more floors to explore. Each floor has its own challenging rooms and a floor boss that you will need to kill. There are 4 floors in total.
Another
pinnacle boss.
You don't have to have experience with the game, and you can approach the game with your own speed, right?
You'll find jewels, which you can socket into your tree. These are
But you're still gonna play a
passives that you
fucking
can
lot,
craft with
right?
your currency items. They can be really
Eventually.
powerful as they allow you to stack modifiers that may not be easily accessible on the tree normally. This jewel gives lightning damage
withstand
and
smoke,
shock
oh yeah.
chance, for example. There are quite a few
Basically.
jewel sockets on the tree, so it's possible to gain a lot of power here. There are also other types
Yeah, I think
of jewels
that's
that
a
don't provide any
that's a good
bonuses
way to say it, right?
themselves, but
The game is not
affect
made for
other players
casuals, but
around
casuals
you.
can have fun, and
This
that's
jewel
fair.
increases the effect of
I
small
don't
nodes
disagree
and
with
radius
that.
by 25%. With careful placement in the tree, you could get a significant amount of power from it. There are also unique jewels available with very interesting effects.
Like, they
but
literally have
you will have to find
all
those for yourself.
the complicated
In order to
stuff
push
from
further into
PoE1
the
already
trial,
in the game in
uncover
PoE2,
the
right?
secrets of the Marrakesh,
Like,
you
I
will
don't...
want to take advantage of its
Like, what's even
progression system,
gone,
relics.
right?
Relics are
Like,
items that can be placed in the relic altar as you start the trial.
This
They give
is
special
nowhere
bonuses that
near
affect
like
the
what
trial,
PoE1 was
making
in
it
beta,
easier
right?
and increasing its rewards. Of course, you can craft these with your currency items, making them even stronger. If you can complete
Act
the
1 is the
entire
actual filter
trial
roll
overcoming
arrive.
all 4 floors, the final boss will reward you with one of many unique relics. These relics will be consumed when used on your next run, but can reward you with unique and powerful items. For example, this is the Last Flame. If you use it, you will have only 1 honor for the entire trial.
For example,
so you
this
will
is the
need to
last
do a
fight they showed for like
completely hitless
0.1
run.
seconds.
The Trial of Chaos also extends into the endgame. As you gain inscribed ultimatums of higher and higher levels, the number of chambers that you can go through increases. In true Val style, this allows you to take even more risks for even more rewards. At endgame, you can progress through up to 10 chambers with 3 bosses on a single run. Stacking 10 tribulations on top of each other will make
I mean, the
this a
problem is just like it's hard to
significant
go
challenge, but it's worth
back,
it.
right,
The
to
Trial
something
Master will
like
tempt you
what
with items of the
PoE1 beta
Val Empire,
was.
such as Val
They have
orbs.
all the resources.
Val
They know
orbs are
how to make
powerful
like this
crafting
game
items that
good.
corrupt your gear with random
They know the
mysterious
people also
outcomes.
want this game. The people that were like loyal to them over all the years.
So
why would they not do what they're doing here?
But it's also the most impactful one. For example,
I
if
think
you
it's-
use one on your body armor, it might add a new powerful enchantment, or it might re-roll up to half of its modifiers. Val orbs also have the ability to add a socket, allowing you to bypass
Two
the
acts
normal
of 4
restriction of how
difficulties.
many sockets an item can have.
Yeah.
A body armor could get up to 3 sockets this way, allowing
also
for
true.
a significant number of mods.
That's also
Val
true.
orbs can even modify uniques. Adding enchantments or sockets to uniques can make them incredibly powerful, but there is a good chance that you will break them as well.
I mean,
The Trial Master will also
To be fair,
occasionally offer you soul cores.
you can follow all of this, right? It's
Originally
not like
formed by
that
Chaos,
complicated.
The Val sought to replicate soul cores through human sacrifice rituals and blood magic to power their civilization. Soul cores are powerful socketable items, with mods that cannot be obtained from regular runes.
soul cores are pretty cool.
Like all in-game content, there is of course a pinnacle boss. The final chamber will drop keys to this mysterious door. Some say this is where the Trial Master himself resides. Perhaps you are willing to take the risk to
The
find
Trial
out.
Master itself,
Had enough
eh?
yet? Because there is still just
We're gonna
one more
fight
thing.
the Trial
most
Master.
difficult content in Path of Exile 2. While mapping, you might come across this fortress that has emerged from underground, surrounded by an enormous maze riddled with danger. Is the maze preventing something from getting in, or something getting out? This fortress is of ancient origin, and its construction has similarities to the towers and tablets that you have been using on your journey through the endgame.
Nah, I didn't bother
It is
like keeping
clear from
track
the
of
entrance that
everything
there are 3
on the
keys
side right
required
now,
to
but
enter.
you can rewatch
Local
this and then like
factions
make a
are vying
list.
for access to the fortress
Right,
in order to seize the
it's
power they
definitely
believe
possible.
will be inside. Each of the faction's leaders have managed to get their hands on one of the keys, so you will need to defeat them.
I mean, the best way to play a
Each
game like
faction is
this,
led by an uber
if you have the
Xbox.
time, right,
You
is to
can
just
see
play
one
it
of
and
them
explore
inhabiting
it,
the
right?
city, but in order to fight him,
Like-
you will first need to defeat their 2 lieutenants in the adjacent zones. Be careful. If you fail against either of the lieutenants, or to kill the leader, they will move on, and you will need to find them again.
Now, if you have
Kill
like
all the Uber bosses and
20
you will gain
wives,
access to
69
the
kids,
fortress.
and 5
We
jobs,
aren't going
then
to spoil
let's
it,
not
as we
even
can't
try
wait to
playing
see
this
you guys
game.
attempt it for the first time. But
But if you have time to play a game, right,
and
and you want to explore a game thoroughly, then
Path of Exile. There is always
PoE is
another
going to be
tree.
amazing
So
for
these
that.
are your challenges for PoE 2. As you can see, this project is crazy huge, way bigger than even we expected when we started out. But how do you gain access? Well, during early access,
there we go,
you'll need
right.
a key to get in. To thank our existing PoE supporters who have spent more than $480, we'll be giving you guys a key for the PC version for free.
480, less than 500.
Anyone else who wants one can get one by purchasing one of the new early access supporter packs that have just been released to the store. If you just want early access to PoE 2, then you can get a key in the $30 early access pack. The pack also comes with
it's basically
$30
$30
points
to
spend
play
in the
early
MTX
access.
store. But we also have a variety of other supporter packs filled with exclusive microtransactions,
Release is gonna be
points
free
spend in the
to
store,
play.
and even physical items. The
Early
cosmetics can be
access is
used
like
right
$30
now in PoE 1
pay to play,
and Path of
basically.
Exile 2 when early access starts.
Which is fair.
Most of this footage has been recorded in Path of Exile 1, so
think.
that's where you can use them immediately.
I mean, it seems to have at
The
least
Lord of
$30
Ogham
worth
supporter
of
pack contains a
like
cosmetic
content.
armor set befitting of the Count of Ogham himself. There is also a matching back attachment, which has an alternate variant depicting the influence of corruption. Also in this pack, you can find a portal formed of the rusted armor of the fallen soldiers in the Red Veil of Ogham, and the offspring of a vicious Crowbell boss found in the hunting grounds.
Yeah, there's
This one
MTX
doesn't
on
look so
top
vicious, though.
if you want, of course. I mean, PoE always had only cosmetics and stash space for cosmetics and
On top
nothing
of
that
you'll
gives you
receive
power.
the Iron Count's Y-hander to
I think
apply to
PoE is
your
like
one-handed
MTX.
or two-handed swords.
Like
For
way
those
of
who are wanting
using
to decorate
MTX
your
is
hideouts
very
with fond
fair
memories and
compared
tales of
to
Path of
like
Exile's
all other
history.
games
You will also get a series
that
of
use
hideout
MTX, I would say.
statues. This pack contains the statue of
And
Hel.
I mean, servers
In
are
Path of Exile
fucking
1's closed
expensive.
beta, each pack contained a
Like,
true
you
New
need a
Zealand
lot of
icon,
money to
the
sustain a
Kiwi.
game like this.
Following this tradition, all packs in the series will also contain a new themed
Like,
Kiwi pet. The
Even
pet
looking
will
at the Grim
loyally
Dawn
follow
League,
you
which
into
is a
battle,
small
but run away at the
project,
first sign of trouble.
the servers are still expensive.
Become the ruler of the desert with the king of the
Like,
Faradans.
they, like, our league is,
Show your mastery of traversing the sands of the Vasteri
like, we have this, right?
The body armor will allow you to glide along the ground
But-
with ancient sand magic. Now each armor set comes with body armor,
I mean,
boots,
yeah, it does,
gloves, and helmet. But the
like,
boots are covered in
pay
sand.
for the servers
If you'd
with
prefer
that,
to show them
but
off,
there's not
you
like
can
that
turn
much,
the gliding off if you want.
like that much more left after that. And this is
The
not like
accompanying
for
back
just the season, right? This is for the
attachment
last two
equips you with
seasons.
two
These
powerful
are
pillars
like
that can control
8,000.
and
This is like for
manipulate
season 6 and
lightning.
7 combined.
They will periodically release their energy in a powerful blast while in town, and hover
Like
in a
if you
circle
say
around
like
you,
if
arcing
you
lightning
put
between
like
them,
dev
forming a
time into
barrier of
account,
energy.
like
Replace
it's
the
a net
appearance of
loss.
any
It's a
bow
net
with the
loss
Faradon's
project.
Glory skin. Or replace the appearance of a spear with the Tyranny's End spear skin.
I don't know how much I got the
spear
Grim
skin
Dawn
can
server is gonna be
applied
for
to
like season
staves and
7,
war
like
staves in Path of Exile 1.
2k, 3k
If you
dollars
want to
maybe.
truly show your worth as a king of the Faradon,
Something like that.
then you definitely need your trusty, moving entire city fortress known as the Dreadnought.
Like just
to travel
servers,
across
right?
the Vasteri
Not a
plains.
single like dev plate for that
In
basically.
Path of Exile, you can decorate your hideout however you like, and it's no exception here.
I mean,
It comes with a
we're not doing
variety
it
of
for the money,
thematic elements
really.
to use, or use
It'd be
decorations
stupid
from
to do
elsewhere in the game.
that. More than that, probably 4k.
Additionally,
Oh,
you'll
yeah.
get the Deshret's Blessing level
Yeah.
up effect.
Might ramp up.
The King of the Faradon Kiwi pet. And last but not least, a statue depicting the Vile Oversoul from Path of Exile 1. For those who don't know how supporter packs work, each pack comes with all of the cosmetics from the previous tier.
But yeah,
So
say
you
it's
get
like
all the
4k
items
for
from
this
the Lord
season,
of
right?
Ogham supporter
This
pack
is
as
flipping
well.
8k, but it's like for 2 seasons.
The
I mean, the last
Thaumaturge
season
of
was
the
maybe like, I
Vile
don't know,
supporter pack
3K?
features an armor set and back
So it's like
attachment
7K
themed
just for
around the Vile
servers.
and their pursuit of
It's like
science
rip all the
and
money.
progress. You can find the Soul Core weapon effect in this pack.
It's
which causes
$30,
thaumaturgic
guys, not
energy
480.
harnessed from sacrifice to spill from your weapons.
$30.
This pack also contains Doryani's Idol. It replaces the default appearance of any foci to an ancient relic once used by Doryani, and this can be applied to shields in Path of Exile 1. That's not the only Vile weapon you'll find. It also contains the Wand of the Thaumaturge skin, and the Royal Sacrifice Dagger skin. You wouldn't think to put sacrificial gems on a Kiwi, but the Vile did. Thaumaturge of the Vile supporters will receive the
Okay, what the fuck is
Thaumaturge
this?
of the
Just like
Vile
showing
Kiwi
off
pet.
skins? I mean, I can understand it, right?
And
They
the
need
Statue
money.
of Dominus. This is also the first pack in the series with a physical item. When purchasing this pack, you'll receive a Path of Exile 2 logo t-shirt.
That's
but
cool.
If you don't want one, you can opt out and return for additional points to spend in the store. Becoming a Warlord of the Karui supporter will grant you an armor set and back attachment adorned in jade carvings and iridescent feathers resembling power. Enough to even impress the ancestral gods, specifically Tukohama, the Karui god of war.
How it can be
Overkill,
that much
you
for
say?
server cost?
I think the Karui
I don't
people
know, you
disagree.
have to
Why not drop a gigantic
discuss
totem
that
on rare
with Ground
enemies
Zero
you slay
exactly
to crush them
about
to a
all the
pulp?
details.
Replace your crafting bench in your hideout with the
Yeah,
ancestral
G,
canoe.
thank you so much for the resub.
Where ancestral chief
Welcome
Marta
back to the
will summon
Bloomers.
a giant
62
canoe
months
manned by
already, I appreciate
Karui
it.
warriors to aid in your crafting desires.
We must all start somewhere.
Okay, wait, who the fuck is this now?
You'll
Is he just
also
the
get a pair
crafting
of
bench?
weapon skins.
Oh wait, no, it's still
Equip
skins, right? Just
Akoya's Felling
MTX.
axe skin to your one-hand or two-handed axes.
Just MTX.
Or Tukohama's crusher to your one-handed or two-handed maces.
Tukuhama.
A true Karui warlord is always accompanied by their trusty Kiwi. Equipped with armor and harnessing ancestral magic, they make the perfect sidekick.
Cloud stashing,
Once
traits,
one of
and
the most
files.
feared
Yeah.
beings in Rayclast, Malachi was slain by a powerful exile. May the statue commemorate the virtue of exiles past, present, and of the future. Of course, it's not all about dressing up in game. You'll want to look good in real life too. By becoming a Warlord of the Karui supporter, you'll also get a Path of Exile 2 hoodie. Our final tier of supporter pack in this series is the Liberator of Rayclast supporter pack. The Liberator of Rayclast armor set and back attachment come made with the finest materials in Rayclast, and shattered glass mosaics suspended in divine power. Set up your base of operations in the Beacon of Salvation hideout. Why restrict yourself to just one island when you can liberate more? The Beacon of Salvation hideout comes equipped with your own collection of small islands and personal operators of boats that you can use to row
Boat
between them.
League?
Just walk to the piers, click a boat to enter, and navigate as you choose. Decorate each island as you see fit to best represent your well-earned hideout. Everyone in your hideout can use their own boat. Why not have some races? You can also get the Window to Twilight portal effect. A beautiful mosaic piece
Why
of
are we
art
watching
that
this?
shatters and reveals a gateway to your desired
It's
destination
pretty
as you
cool,
approach
but-
it. As you walk away, the glass magically reforms back to its original form. Rule and style with the Throne of the Ruler map device.
How big is the Grimdawn League?
This map device can create portals to endgame maps, but it also comes with a throne you can sit on to oversee your growing kingdom. Look down on the plebeians running your maps.
Is it like
Being
what,
the Liberator, though, is not
4K
just about sitting in your
players?
throne all day. If you do decide to join the fight yourself, you can leave a High Priest in charge as your second in command.
To be fair, maybe like Ground Zero and Mr. Monday can like do some
Liberator of Rayclast supporters will also
some
get a set
magic
of
with
varied
Signet
weapon
R
skins.
to cut the costs as
The
well,
Light of
maybe.
Divinity Scepter skin.
I'm
the
hopeful for
Deliverance
next
crossbow
season.
Skin. The Justice Flail skin. And the Redemption Shield skin. Once again, you'll have an accompanying Kiwi, and of course a statue depicting one of the most iconic events in Rayclast's history. The battle between a powerful exile and Kitava, the Insatiable. With the help of two deities, Sin and Innocence, the exile was able to defeat him once and for all. This supporter
Once
pack
and
also
for all.
contains the Path of Exile 2 art book. This 215-page full-color art book includes a huge amount of amazing concept art and lore produced during the long and exciting journey of Path of Exile 2's development. And finally, Path of Exile has a tradition of letting the community participate in designing game features.
It's pretty cool.
Path of Exile 2 will be adding the Twilight Order foil reliquary. By becoming a Liberator of Rayclast supporter, once Path of Exile 2 is released, you will be able to select any unique item you have found and be able to drop it from the reliquary. Once players have submitted their items, keys to the reliquary will start dropping,
Wait, what?
and other players will be able to find foil versions of uniques that you have submitted, along with a message for the lucky player.
Wait,
The more
what?
players submit the same unique, the more chances there will be for the
So that's
reliquary
cool
to
as
drop.
fuck.
So choose wisely. Now, almost all of these items are available to use in PoE 1 right now. There are a few exceptions where the item class clearly doesn't exist, such as crossbows or flails. And there are also a few microtransactions on weapon types that are unavailable in PoE 2 at the start of early access. Once classes that use those weapon types are added, those microtransactions will be available to use. If you can't decide which supporter pack to choose yet, you can always start with the early access supporter pack that just includes a key and some points to spend in the store. Then you can upgrade to any of the following tiers at a later date. These supporter packs will be available for purchase throughout early access. We'd really like to thank you for your ongoing support. Without you guys, Path of Exile 2 could not have happened. Now, I'm sure you guys have a lot of questions. Stick around,
Ziggy.
because coming up next, we have a live Q&A
Okay, we're gonna
with
skip
Ziggy
this.
D.
I mean, looks pretty cool overall. Very cool, very cool. I feel like in many ways PoE 2 looks like a PoE 1 reskin, but in other ways it also looks very fucking awesome. I don't know. Probably won't have time to play this anyway, but pretty cool,
To
pretty
the
cool.
post-show.
Good day, good day. All right, I think I'm gonna call it here. Actually, if you want to keep watching the ZGD stuff. I don't know. How long is this gonna take? Like 5 years, right? 5 hours at least. I think I'm gonna go sleep though. Overall though, pretty cool what we've seen, I would say. Yep, back to studies. Alright, let me know what you think about PoE 2. If you're gonna play it, if you're not gonna play it, if you're hyped, if you're not. What you would like to see in PoE 2, what you like that you've seen that they're gonna put into PoE 2 again, and what you are missing.